Hello, hello. Welcome to the fight. It feels like good morning, but I was about to say good morning, but it's 3 p.m. How are you? How are you doing? Are you ready for the final day of the Hollywood Climate Summit? Yeah, woo, some tepid woos. Hey, who has been here? Make some noise if you've been here all 4 days. You're amazing, amazing. Have you had the caffeinated water? Is that your secret? How are you here? You're here, alive. Has anyone done the caffeinated water while it's hot with electrolytes and vitamins? Has anyone? Is it just persons glowing? Me! This is so exciting. My name is Esteban. I'm going to be hosting today, so you'll see me before and after, introduce, make sure everyone's here and happy, just like cruise director vibes. Never been on a cruise, but I feel like there's someone who's like, is everyone happy? Who's had electrolyte water? I'm so excited for this next panel, and I want to share one quick story about my dad, okay? Is that all right? What if someone, no! My dad is great. My dad loves bees. He volunteers his time at an apiary, which is where bees hang out. He just is like, go bees. He just is a big bee fan. And he's an amazing guy. He has a PhD in fluid dynamics. And for 10 years, he studied how water droplets come apart. Isn't that amazing? He would love that electrolyte water, by the way. He would just be like, whoa. Sometimes we like go out to eat at restaurants, and they're like, here's a glass of water. And he's like, work follows me everywhere. And he's amazing, but he's a very stoic man. Picture like a PhD in like kind of like a type of physics. Like growing up, he'd be like, how was your day? And I'd be like, good. And he'd be like, what evidence supports that? Like, that's his follow-up question. That's how. And I was like, I guess the evidence is I'm 7 years old, father. And he's like, good enough for me. Yes, my brother, we peer review the evidence. I was always jealous of times he would get emotional. And one of the times that he was the most emotional, this is true, was one time, I'm Colombian. He's Colombian too. Usually that is how that works. And we were in Colombia, outside Bogota, and he was at a river. Okay, I remember distinctly. I'm like 10 years old. And he was looking at the river and running his hands through the water and like looking around. And he kind of got teary-eyed for the first time I've ever seen him in my life. And at 10 years old, I like looked at him and I was like, Dad, I'm 70% water too. And that's, I think, when I decided to become a comedian. To earn his love. And my dad would love this next panel. Perfect transition. Honestly, kind of 10 out of 10. We made eye contact and you were like, how did you went from here to there? Yeah. People doubted me. My dad would love, because this next panel this is really, really exciting. This is a sneak preview of a film that we get to see. And so we're get to share in this really special moment. So like what's gonna happen is we're gonna see the film, then we're gonna have a Q&A. So it's gonna be a wonderful next hour. And here, introducing the film, telling us more about it and what we will experience, please welcome the writer and director of the film, Maya Penn. Do you know if you...
Thank you so much. Hello, Hollywood Climate Summit. I hope everyone is having a good fourth day of the summit. This has been so absolutely incredible so far. My name is Maya Penn. I am an environmental activist. I have been one since I was 8 years old, and I'm 24 now, so I have 16 years of doing work in this space. I am also an award-winning founder and CEO and an animator and a multidisciplinary artist. I'm the founder and owner of Upen Productions, and we are a Gen Z-led climate storytelling-focused production company. And what you're about to see is a preview from our current project called ASALI, Power of the Pollinators. It is an environmental action adventure short film about a little bee named ASALI who survives the collapse of her bee colony and has to save their forest from destruction. It is executive produced by Viola Davis, Julius Tannen, and Juvie Productions, who we're proudly partnered with, and features an absolutely amazing voice cast who will be joining us after this sneak preview. But you'll see a sneak preview. You'll also see our collaboration with the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, as well as some other BTS and some additional surprises. So we hope you enjoy and hope you enjoy the following panel. And thank you so much for having us.
I am ASALI. I'm a honeybee. I didn't grow up like most honeybees my age in a huge colony. Ours was taken from us when I was just a baby.
ASALI, honeycomb, I promise to always protect you, and that includes protecting your heart.
Hey there, little bee. I'm Samara. Look at you, out here keeping entire plant species alive.
I've seen you before. You're that weird loner bee. This is so great because I've always been like, should I go up and talk to her or should I not? I mean, you always keep to yourself for a reason and I want to respect that, but I also want to invite you to brunch because you're just so interesting and mysterious and, well, not really in a cool way. Anyways, we're friends now.
The forest guardian's trapped in that machine and it's been powering up and draining the life out of everything. Everyone's in danger.
Ooh, yay, I'm so much closer to death. Okay, you can all go home now.
I can't help but feel like I'm running out of time. This is all so much bigger than me.
No one could outrun it, outfly it, or outhide it. We didn't even know what was happening until everything was gone.
If I can't outfly it, I just have to fight it.
It's heading deeper into the forest. Animals will die, our homes will be destroyed.
Free us and yourselves from our exploiters, or fly away and take everything you love from this forest. Either way, you must act.
We're just too small to change the outcome. We should have just minded our business.
This thing isn't our home. This is our business.
Keep up the good work, little bee. Actions big and small matter now more than ever.
It's been a little while too since what, The View?
The
A
View.
long time ago.
I was
That's a little
15
while.
years old.
Wow. I won't even tell you how old I was. But I wasn't 15.
No, that was an amazing experience, for sure. And you're like still like one of the just kindest and most amazing people that I've ever met along my journey.
Oh, well, you know, I love everything that you've done since last we were together. So it's kind of fabulous that you're doing your thing and I can be part of that. Makes me very happy. What is
Galbanum is a dragon made out of like beautiful flowers and plants. There's a photo actually in the character description that was sent. I don't know if I can pull it up on my Zoom right now. Oh, okay.
All right.
Very powerful.
I got it. Here we go. I am Galbanum. Protection of the Guardians is slipping. Our life force dwindles. Free us and yourselves from our exploiters, or fly away and take everything you love from this forest. The protection of the Guardians is slipping. Free us and yourselves from our exploiters. You must act.
Those additional like inflections, that's amazing.
It felt like I should know what I am, so that I can be gigantic and just say to something very tiny, listen, you have to take care of this.
Literally all of these would work amazingly well.
Okay, well, they're all yours.
What?
All yours. It's just a pleasure and an honor to do this with you today. This is me saying thanks for the gig.
Thank you. My heart is so full. This is like, I don't know. This is like I don't even know how to describe it. This is a life-changing moment for me, honestly. And it's a immense honor. Like that doesn't really even begin to describe it. There's probably not a word in the English language, you know. So, thank you. And I just love you so much.
Well, the feeling is mutual.
My name is Maya Penn. I'm a global environmentalist, artist, and filmmaker, and the director and lead animator of ASALI, Power of the Pollinators. Today is World Bee Day, and ASALI the bee and her friends are teaming up with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations so you can know how to be engaged and help save our pollinators.
Hey there, little bee. I'm Samara. Look at you, out here keeping entire plant species alive.
Plant bee-friendly flowers in your garden and on your balconies. Planting even a few native pollinator-friendly plants and including a variety of flowers that bloom at different times of the year is amazing. Create bee habitats. That can mean setting up bee houses or leaving nesting sites in patches of bare ground depending on the bees in your area. You can also help these tiny heroes by mowing your lawn less and participating in No Mow May or a low mow spring movement. Avoid chemicals that can harm bees. Reduce or change the usage of pesticides and fertilizers, and choose organic and sustainable food options when possible.
I probably have you to thank for the fruit salad I ate this morning.
Learn about the different species of bees and other pollinators in your area. Mom, I am a worker bee. I was literally born for this stuff. There are more than 200,000 species of animals that act as pollinators. This includes over 20,000 species of wild bees, but also butterflies, moths, possums, birds, flies, wasps, beetles, bats, lemurs, and more. Understand their habitats and needs for survival. Buy your honey and other bee products from local beekeepers and learn more about beekeeping. Bees and other pollinators are crucial to our survival and to many crop species we depend on and use every single day.
Keep up the good work, little bee. Actions big and small matter now more than ever.
Be a hero for pollinators this World Bee Day.
And now, joining us for a very special conversation about ASALI, Power of the Pollinators, please welcome to the stage Maya Penn, Monique Coleman, Julius Tenen, Joy Afodu, and Lupita Pineda.
Hello, hello, everyone. We hope that you enjoyed that special sneak peek and a compilation of some of the ways that we are using ASALI as a new wave of what climate storytelling can look like. I already introduced myself, but I'll just kind of go again. My name is Maya Penn. I'm the founder and owner of Upendo Productions. I'm also the director, writer, and lead animator of ASALI, and I'm also the voice of ASALI, in case you couldn't tell. I'm so excited to be able to bring this absolutely incredible panel to you today. ASALI is a project, just to give a little background, that is technically over a decade in the making. I originally created the idea for it when I was 11 years old. And in 2013, when I was about 12 or 13 years old, I gave one of 3 TED Talks at TED Women. I showcased a very early version that I created at 12 of ASALI, at the time just called The Pollinators, and that talk went viral worldwide. It was translated into over 100 different languages, and to this day, people tell me, email me, DM me, comment, "Oh my gosh, Maya, I saw this TED Talk, I showed it to my students, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is so incredible. Is there a movie? Is there a comic book, something from that one short animation I did as a kid?" And I always knew that this story was really special. And animation for me is one of the most universal and powerful mediums of storytelling. And what better way to break down something as complex as environmental issues, as habitat loss, eco-anxiety, the way that environmental degradation can create intergenerational trauma in a way that is accessible, that is still uplifting and hopeful and optimistic and action-oriented. And so that's how really ASALI came to be. I now want to turn this over to this absolutely beautiful panel that I'm so honored to share the stage with. So we have our cast members here. If you could say which character that you voice when you introduce yourself, and we also have one of our incredible executive producers from Juvie Productions as well. So if you could each introduce yourself. Yeah.
First of all, can we just give it up for Maya? My goodness. I'm so honored to be here and to be on this stage with you and to be a part of this project. My name is Monique Coleman, and I play Samara, the environmental scientist, the human. My background, some of you might know, was I played Taylor in High School Musical. But after that, I really saw the need to lend my platform to causes that were bigger than myself. And I actually became the first ever United Nations Youth Champion for the International Year of Youth. And I initiated and funded a 6-month global tour to better understand what young people experience and face globally, and then came back and have since really made a valiant effort to leverage my platform and my love for art into advocacy. And that is where Maya and I actually met. I believe we met at Girl Up. Okay, we met at Girl Up, which is a UN Foundation campaign all about gender equity and equality. And then we reconnected at United States of Women. And from the moment we met, I just knew that she was someone, one of the things about Hollywood that's unfortunate is that people often wait till something is successful to amplify it or to get on the bandwagon. And I could see when she was 15 years old that she was special and that what she was doing mattered. And I've been championing everything that she's done ever since. And it's just so special to be here. I think the intersection of arts and advocacy is really one of the best efforts that we have to make a real difference. And so it's just so joyful to be able to lend my voice to something that really is this meaningful. So, thank you.
I'd like to thank the Academy for having me. Thank you, Academy. They said I could say that up here. Hi, everyone. Hi. Come on. Hello. Hi, humans, and hey to everyone watching online. My name is Joy Ndidiamaka Ofodu, and I voice
Posy, the butterfly. Yeah, but she's Posy, the butterfly. She has an Igbo accent. For those of you who are wondering.
So that's the voice that I give. I love bringing my culture into the role. Monique is gagged.
Mind blowing how she can just do that. Like,
I love, love, love performing, delighting with my voice. It is an honor for me to be here at the Hollywood Climate Summit for the first time, at our first advanced preview of a Hollywood film, my first ever. Hello, I'm from the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, and I'm representing with my family, my crew, my friends, my management team. They're incredible, so it's an honor for me to be here. I truly and deeply believe in the healing power of humor, and I launched my company Joy Ofodu during the pandemic because I recognized people just needed a little laugh. And I've reached over 60 million people with my comedic short form videos, original productions, including 2 original shows like Dating Unsettled. I really, really believe that human connection is what is going to help us survive all of these crises. And sometimes people just need a little laugh. Everyone plays a different role as an activist or as an artist in the revolution. And I recognize that my role in change making in the revolution was going to be healing, was going to be through humor. So that's where I sit and stays in my funny little bag. So I hope I could bring a smile to your face today, but it is just an honor to be here. It's always been my dream to be a professional artist and actor. So I'm happy to be living in that and be in front of you today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Julius Tennant, president of Juvie Productions, along with my wife, Viola Davis. I met Maya several years ago at a fundraising event. A friend of mine, Phyllis Newhouse, actually invited myself and my then head of film to this fundraiser. And she obviously had already told Maya that I was going to be there. And I remember distinctly meeting Maya and meeting her parents. And it blew me away because Maya knew stuff about me as an actor. And she just started riffing stuff, and I was going, wow, this young lady is something else. And her parents are great. And, you know, over these years, you know, Maya and I, we kept talking, and she was talking about ASALI and what she was going to do with it. And I was so impressed by Maya just because of all the things she had done at such a young age. It was so impressive. Made me feel like I needed to start over, you know. But we came together with ASALI, and Maya asked us to come on board as producers. And since that time, we've gotten together, we've taken meetings, we've gone out. And you know, with these things in our industry, it takes a minute, you know. So you really have to practice patience. And Maya has done that, but she's done the work. She and her team did the work. And I think as we continue to move forward, I see a lot of avenues and different things that we're going to do to bring ASALI even to a bigger feature type situation. And so we're going to continue to work hard, do this work. This is so important for our youngsters. If they can learn about the environment and the effects of things that once things get out of sort, and how bees are so important to our universe. And so I'm just thankful to be here, happy to be in collaboration with Maya, and happy to share the stage with all these beautiful young women.
Hello, I'm Lupita Pineda, and I'm also very honored to be part of this project. I voiced the character of Zania. I remember a few years ago when I met Maya, I remember she emailed me, and I had no idea what this project was. She just sent me like a description. And one thing that really stood out to me is that, because at the time I had never done voice work, so that already excited me onto the project. But what really stood out to me was the fact that I would be voicing a character in a wheelchair. And growing up disabled, it was really rare to see people with disabilities in movies, TV, cartoons. So the fact that not only did she create a disabled character for this, but she got a disabled actor. And I feel very honored to be that person to give Zania her voice and bring her to life.
Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. I'm so excited to jump into this panel. Some of you kind of already answered this question, but I kind of wanted to hear from you what like about ASALI like really stood out that made you want to be a part of this project. And we'll go in order basically. Start with you, Monique.
Well, I think for me, I used to feel like there was a separation between my work as an artist and my work as an activist or an advocate. And it felt like there was this just gaping lane between those areas. And people, when they would see me at events and promoting different things, they would always ask, well, are you still acting? And I think for me, when this project came along, obviously you asked and I said yes, like that's the real answer, because I love you and will do anything with you. But really, it was exciting because I think people respond more favorably when they see something instead of when they're told something. And so I think that being a part of a project like this is an opportunity to kind of hide the vegetables, if you will. You know, it's really beautiful animation. It's just lovely storytelling that happens to have this super important message. And that's just something that more and more, you know, we only get so much life energy on this planet. We only have so much time. And so the choices that we make with how we use that time, especially when it can be such an uphill battle to be in this industry, it was a no-brainer to come alongside this project as an artist, you know, but more so as an advocate to get to be at places like the Hollywood Climate Summit talking about the importance of pollinators.
When Maya approached me during the pandemic, she found me working part-time as a voice actor and full-time in technology. So I was still just like boldly in pursuit of my dream. And I had actually just that week declared to the world, I am a voice actor. I'm reactivating my childhood dream. Here's my reel. Here's like 5 different voices I can do. Who will hire me? And it was that week that Maya said, Joy, I saw your post. I'm working on a film. I would like for you to be in it. Like no questions asked. And she had me read for a few characters, but it was the blind faith that she gave me, again, in my first week of stepping back into professional acting at the time, that I said, like, thank you. Like this is my sister. This is an eager collaborator. That's any actor's dream, is to be approached with a project that's really like offer first. So it was an honor. It is one of the first voice roles I was ever cast in as a professional actor, but the first animated film. And so it's going to go on my record forever. I've now since done a number of features, animated shows, have a major streaming service animated series appearance coming up soon, 4 to 5 games that have dropped this year and last year, podcasts. I've been the voice of a global podcast, The Daily Shine. All of these things have come since that magical moment that Maya approached me with ASALI, and it just puffed up my shoulders, and it gave me such confidence as an actress going into an independent and then professional career. So Posey was cute. I didn't know I was going to do it Igbo. We all have like our American phone voice, you know what I mean? Like, no, like all of you know what I mean. And like I kind of just like read it in like standard California. And no, I'm scared. And Maya said, like, you know, go ahead and try your home act. Like, how do you sound at home? How do your parents sound at home?
Well, I suppose they sound a little bit like this.
And she let me bring my culture into the role. So it was a true honor. Easy, you know, to just be myself. I can be like Posey. I can be a little anxious. I can kind of want to control things. So Maya, and honestly her father, who's an incredible audio engineer, just guided me through that process over the years. This has been several years in the making since the first time I hit the mic and all of us hit the mic. But I'm just proud to see what it is today. That's what made ASALI an easy yes. In terms of the environment, I think everything Monique spoke about is exactly right. You dream as an actor of being in a project that also carries a message. This day and age, there are very few films that I think leave the theater with us, right? Very few TV shows that leave the screen with us. ASALI is something that hopefully, just even in this short amount of time seeing it, this is one woman's dream and hope for the world translated through her brain to her hands to a screen in front of us, and hopefully to climate action. Like, that is impeccable. So it's just an honor for me to be a part of it.
And for, go ahead. Go ahead. Anyway, for me and Viola, it was Maya, the person of Maya, who she is, what she stands for. As I said a little bit earlier, what she had accomplished even at that time. I'm saying I met her several years ago. She's 24 now, so she was under 20. And her passion for what she does and how much she cares about sustainability, about climate, and we're seeing the effects of it. A lot of good work is going on. This is important, what we're doing, to gather and talk about these issues. And you know, I want to go back a minute, because we had a great president, I think he was the 39th president, Jimmy Carter, who back in the day fought against the oil lobby. He was talking about environment and all the effects of things that were happening, the long gas lines. I remember those long gas lines. Many of you don't, but I do. And we were going through things then, and I think if we took a little bit of out of his playbook and started doing things then, we wouldn't have it all figured out like we don't now, but we'd be a whole lot further. So it's activists like that. It's activists like Maya who inspire. And it's important. And ASALI is important for our children. Who does it start with? It starts with the young ones. And if they can get a grasp of what this means in terms of what bees mean to our earth, and them being removed from their environment, being threatened. These are all the threats we're facing everywhere. Look at rising climates, hurricanes, earthquakes. Stuff's happening everywhere. It's hotter than it's ever been. The Arctic tip melting in places where it never melted before. So we're truly in a situation now that we have to kind of work ourselves out of. And it's important to tell stories like this, but it's important for all of us to get busy and do what we need to do to protect our environment. So that means everything to me, to Viola, and we're so thankful to be doing this with Maya. And yeah, so that's it.
Well, when I joined on this project, I was really excited for it because part of the reason that I got into arts and acting myself is because, as I mentioned earlier, growing up, I didn't really see characters that looked like me, and even if there were characters that looked like me, they were mostly played by able actors, and the authenticity just wasn't there. So the fact that now that I'm an adult, I get to be that voice for other disabled children that are watching from home makes me feel very honored. And part of the reason I like I said, that I got into acting is because I wanted to contribute to more diversity and more authentic representation. And one of my favorite parts about this project is the intersectionality. I love that we have people from different backgrounds just coming together to tell this important message that our planet's in danger, and this is going to affect all of us. This is our home. And I think a film like this, it's a beautiful way to showcase that. So thank you, Maya, for letting me be a part of this. I feel very honored.
Thank you so much. I want to take a moment to, one, just absorb how incredible this panel is. And then as we're doing that, I also want to share a little background about the production company and why I was founded. So I've been animating pretty much ever since I could hold a crayon. Animation has always been my first passion. A lot of people know me for my work in sustainable fashion, among a number of other spaces. But as someone who's always been an environmentalist and someone who's always been an artist, this is the combination of those two worlds of mine coming together, right? And when I was 16, I was commissioned during the Obama administration to animate the opening of the first ever digital report presented to U.S. Congress. And this was to get an American Museum of Women's History built in Washington. Since then, I've founded my production company, and we're really focused on job creation, especially for the next generation of artists, of creatives. Just on this project alone, we have over 50 artists, young artists from around the world, from the US, Europe, Africa, South America, everywhere that you can think of. Very much focused on creating opportunities for Black, Brown, Indigenous, LGBTQ+ artists. And it's just really amazing how the power of community, which I think we even just see on this panel, has been a big through line for this project. And it's just been an honor to be a part of that and to lead such an incredible community of such talented people and amazing visionaries. And I basically wanted to pass this to the rest of you. For you, why is community important to the work that you do? And how did community add to the experience of working on this project or any other projects, either from an advocacy standpoint or from a creative standpoint?
As a voice actor, it's everything. We have a weird kind of profession that you gotta wiggle and squirm your way into. There's no one door that you can just knock down and become a voice actor overnight. So community has been everything. I think it takes people like your dear friends to believe in you, speak life into you, tell you what you're good at, and it starts there. It always starts horizontally. It doesn't start with some grand sponsor or angel investor, or when you're a kid you think someone's gonna find you at the mall or hear you singing in the bathroom and go, you have a gift. That's not exactly how it goes. It's usually your friends bigging you up, and that's what happened for me. The USC community, Angelino by USC, anybody? All right, that's percentage-wise, that tracks. Okay, all the Trojans and Trojan affiliates. So that was a huge community. I think the Black internet community holds so much humor and gas and attention. And as I started to grow my career online and post online, they were my main feedback engine, right? In terms of being a voice actor, seeing entrepreneurs, entertainers like Viola, powerful, dark-skinned women who own their own means of production. In my lifetime, I went from that not being a reality to seeing that be a reality, aspirational, and then my own lifestyle. That to me, it's mind-boggling. That's the power of God. It's the power of the entertainment industry. It's fascinating. So the Black community, creative community, I would say places and spaces like African American Cinema Society. I'm a little new to this climate thing. I mean, I've been thrifting my whole life, but I'm new to the climate community. It's crazy to see how even y'all can produce, entertainment that is sticking with us, that is educating us. And then finally, I think I would say as a voice actor, SAG-AFTRA. It's been crazy to go from aspirational, my mom taking me to auditions via the BART in San Francisco, thanks mama, to being a member of the most distinguished performers union in the world, who instantly reached out. All actors, the managers, the agents, so warm, so embracing, to NAVA, to the VGM community, which is Voices of Global Majority. It's basically every underrepresented voice actor banding together to say, what can we do? How do we make it sustainable? How do we audition and work from home? So those are the communities, just to name a few, that have really propped me up as an actor and helped to shape my career. And now, as a CEO and as an entrepreneur who's also owning her own means of production, who's creating the things that she's starring in, it's my hope that I can continue to empower underrepresented talent, freelancers like I have from Grenada to New York to San Francisco to Chicago. And that's the way that we're going to continue. We just have to keep working horizontally, hiring and sponsoring and speaking life into each other.
And community is important. I mean, with what we do as creators, we're always creating these communities, right? You start these projects, you start with the kernel of an idea, and then then the baby is born, and you have to nurture the baby. Then you finally get to a point to where you can take it out and try to get somebody to pay attention to it. So community is always important, because that's the foundation from which we all work. And we all want to put something beautiful in the world. it's really important to do work that's meaningful, that's thoughtful, that's moving. You know, our job as actors are to leave the audience less alone. That's what we do. We create content so people can escape for that hour and a half, 2 hours into something that can fill them up. And obviously with an ASALI, you know, as we move forward and expand this out, I wanted to fill people up, and especially our children, because it's important. And community always plays a big role, and the people who support you and care about you and love you, it's good stuff, and it's worthy stuff. The work we do is worthy as creators, because we can change the world with what we do, mindsets, all of that. So that's what community means to me.
Yeah, I agree with everyone's been saying. Like, community is very, very important, especially as especially within your community, because you find people that you can relate to, and even if you can't relate to, it gives you the chance to learn other perspectives. And like, for example, this project, like, even though I'm a huge disability activist, I didn't know much of the effects of, well, like, how climate change affects us. As obviously it affects all of us, but like, I wasn't even aware how it affects disabled people, or, you know, just the fact that I can come in this space and also learn from it, and we all learn from each other, and we're all supporting each other, we can make a huge impact and really get our messages out there.
And I would only add that I think for me, community has been an invaluable aspect of this process. I personally have not booked a role through an audition in, I think, maybe 7, maybe 8 years at this point. And that is not because I don't audition. But I think sometimes, you know, I like to look at this industry. We often talk about being rejected, and I don't see it that way. I look at rejection as redirection. And so often what we are doing as artists is we want to be chosen, we want to be picked. But sometimes the successes that we would have would actually prevent us from being in the right place with the right people doing the work that we're meant to be doing. And that is what I think community allows us to do, is that I was going through a very difficult time in my life. I just left my marriage of 12 years. I was going to be on set with someone else who was extremely successful. And I was in a moment where I was feeling really down. And Maya reached out and asked if I would be interested in auditioning for this project, and it literally felt like a lighthouse. You know, I felt like I'd this dream that was inside of me. You know, sometimes it doesn't happen in the audition room. It doesn't happen with who we perceive as the higher ups, because in many ways it's always changing and it's always evolving. But your community is who evolves with you. Your community sees you when you're up, when you're down, and they see not just where you are right now, but where you're going and who you aspire and desire to be. And so I think for me, community has been just such a wonderful aspect of getting to be a part of this project. And like Lupita said, getting to learn from each other and not lead with what we don't have, but realize that by being together, we have everything that we need.
I love that. And even within the film, even within ASALI, community and collectivism is a very, important theme to this film, because as someone who has, been an environmental activist for over 15 years now, the biggest thing that I have seen is that obviously we are stronger together, but when it comes to the topic of climate is the multiplier for everything else that we care about on this planet. And so it requires calling people in, collaborating, and working together with people from different expertises, lived experiences, backgrounds, bringing together people who have this passion and are coming into this space from, how it directly connects to them, because making it personal is also something that is so integral to making real change and real action in the world. And I also love, Lupita, you mentioned the intersectionality of all of this, and that's something that I think a lot of us in this room also really work to represent in our work in projects like ASALI and beyond. I have several other questions that I want to get to, so I know that we are probably going to lightning round it a little bit. How do you use your platforms and work to create positive change and change within the industry? And why is it important for both entertainment and climate spaces to provide more access and amplification of those who need it? So
it's always about giving opportunity. Where much is given, much is required. Once you rise, stick your foot in the door and allow somebody else to come in. And then once you get in, pull somebody else up.
I would say one way that I do is just through transparency. There was this time where it felt like having this mystery around what we did was the way forward. And I think, I just try to be honest about my own journey. Obviously, my platforms really lend themselves to amplifying the voices of young people and underserved, obviously the planet. But really, it is also the choices that I make that no one sees. So much of what we do is through social media, and we're sharing all these things, but what really matters is this, the fact that there's not plastic water bottle up here. It's like to have that transparency and that authenticity, not just in what we're saying we're doing, but in what we're doing behind the scenes and bringing everyone in.
Monique Coleman really walks this walk, and I'm going to tell you how she does it, because she's being very humble up here and very vague, but it's impacted even me. Can I tell a personal story?
I guess so. I'm scared.
Okay,
Go ahead.
girl. So again, Maya Penn was the connector. She was the visionary that cast us and brought us together. Because we were in the same cast, I was like, okay, I can follow Monique a little bit more closely. Because when I was a child, I watched Monique Coleman on the screen, and I practiced the moves. You all did it. Don't lie. And I tried to move like Monique, and so I grew up watching her as an actress. Then Maya connects us in the same cast. Monique sent me a very beautiful, affirming message on Instagram. I left the shower. What? What do you mean? Monique Coleman has sent you a message. Who? The Monique. And I read it, and it was, Joy, I see you. What you're doing is amazing. Keep going. We're in the same cast. Just wanted to say, hey, show little sprinkles, something vague and sugary. And I said, wow. Wait, that's for me? So that was affirming. I walked around I texted my friends, Monique Coleman sent me a nice message, everybody. It made me hold myself and my crown just a little bit higher. And then she dragged me in and said, come into my space. Stay. I was in LA. I said, I don't know what. She said, come over here. And she helped me prepare to meet my first manager who's in the building, the Rena Patton. It was Monique that day that gave me the advice and the guidance and the specificity. She drove. I didn't want to. She physically drove me to meet my first ever Hollywood manager. And so Monique is really walking that walk when she says that she provides transparency that tells us, as young Black girls, what it's really like to be actors and be performers in this industry. So I just wanted to give you that kudos because you touched me, sister.
Oh my God, thank you.
Thank you, love you. For me, I try to hand those things back wherever I can. I'm involved and support a number of nonprofits, from Black Sisters in STEM to Self-STEM. You can see I love STEM. I like my science. Black Sisters, woo for science. Yes. Come on. And y'all saw Bill Nye. I understand. You saw Bill and now you see us, and it's a little bit of I understand. But we're here. No, so Black Sisters in STEM, Self-STEM, a Voller House, Text Giving. There's so many people who are just helping to innovate and create inclusive spaces within technology. And as a technology exiter, I love to support those wherever I can in entertainment. VGM, I do work with SAG-AFTRA's various committees, and so just trying to support inclusivity. I'm also a disability advocate, so it was just brought to my attention that a lot of content is not made accessible to disabled people online. And we're talking about 10% of the global population or more, and a lot of us will have some kind of a disability in our lifetime that interferes with our ability to either access entertainment physically or digitally. So I said, as an able-bodied person, it is completely irresponsible of me to not produce comedy that they can access. So for me, you'll notice all of my Instagram content at JoyOphoto contains alt image descriptions and closed captions, and I've been doing that since 2020 to make sure that that's accessible to folks. So my blind followers and autistic followers and non-English as a first language followers, they're always sending messages like, thank you. You know, this sounds hilarious. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. So I really appreciate that we as a community, whether able-bodied, disabled, woman, black, wealthy, still coming up, we can all kind of collaborate to enjoy entertainment together. And that's where I like to invest my energy.
I want to add first, Joy, thank you for that, for talking about that and actually like implementing it into your work, because that's one of the biggest issues in the entertainment industry is like not just like the representation, but also like how we view things. Like just a few years ago, I saw a film that I don't know what the term is, but it's for people with seeing impairments, and the movie was described to them. And I had never seen that before. It was for a disability event, and they showed a film that was described that way, and I was like, wow, like I didn't even think about this stuff. And the fact that you were using your platform to include that, I as a disabled person myself, I appreciate that. And I was also going to add, so aside from being a disability activist, I'm also a goth alternative fashion content creator. And
any alt-fashion enthusiasts, follow her right now at Wheelie Goth immediately.
Come on, goth vibes.
Thank you, Maya. And I simply just put like fun outfits. You know, I put fun outfits together. A lot of it's thrifted. A lot of it is like, this is an old dress that I had that was like ripping apart, and my caregiver, she just helped me like amp this up. So, but me simply like just, you know, having a platform and, you know, showing myself in different fashions. I had one of my friends tell me one day, like, you know, I'm alternative myself, and she's disabled as well. And she told me, like, you know, I really appreciate the videos you put out there, because even like being alternative and disabled, I feel like you're representing me. And we got together, and we're actually currently working on a project. It's still new, but it's a dance group that me and her are putting together. It's going to be a wheelchair dance group, and we're going to be. Thank you.
Round of applause for this, by the way.
We are called the Black Bat Collective, and we are basically going to be dancing and spreading awareness of different disability issues. But not just that, we want to not just show ourselves dancing, but also we want to showcase different artists with disabilities, and we want to give them a platform to be able to share their work. So if you are interested in learning more about that, you could find me on Instagram, wheelie.goth, and our page is called the Black Bat Collective. So yeah, we will be doing a lot of work soon.
And it's Wheelie with a Y also at the end. Quick, we're gonna do maybe like 15 seconds per answer here. What is a word of advice or inspiration you have for anyone listening right now?
Don't stop.
Yep. Monique?
Connect your passions to your purpose. You don't have to choose one or the other. You can use your love for animation or for fashion or your voice or whatever it is that you have. That is actually going to make it something that you can be more sustainable with.
Love it.
If you're anything like me, your dreams may not be denied, just deferred. And you have the power to reactivate them at any time.
I'd say don't give up. If you are trying to put yourself there or put a message out there, no matter how many no's you get, how many doors close on you, you keep going and you keep putting that message out there because our messages are very important for people to learn about. So keep fighting for what you believe in.
Another question, what is your hope for a more sustainable or equitable future? Do you have any thoughts or advice on how to make that happen, or just what your hopes are for like a greener and more equitable future for people and for the planet?
Well, what I hope is I just hope, more of us take it seriously and participate. I mean, really do all the things that, you know, we're supposed to do. Let's put the sustainable stuff where it's supposed to go. Let's just do everything we need to do. And I think it's going to make a huge difference if we all just get involved collectively.
I hope for a beautiful, healthy planet that my someday kids can inherit. Like, I want to be a mom and I someday a grandma, you know, like my family has been to me. It's just such a life goal. I would love for them to live on a planet where they can, you know, fly and travel and swim and it's open and green. And so that would be wonderful. I also, though, hope that our collective, like, entertainment and advocacy can influence corporations who are making a lot of this negative climate impact to take more accountability so that the pressure comes off of those of us who already have a lot to deal with, okay, to think that it's just me and my personal plastic straw that's the problem. It's not just my plastic straw. You're dumping oil into the place. So can we, so just a little bit more accountability. A little bit more accountability would be yummy.
I know
so that
we're
I
out
can
of
relax. Thank you.
I know we're out of time, so I'm just going to share a quote. It says, "We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We are borrowing it from our children." And so remembering that we may not get to see the efforts that we put in, but we should do them anyway.
Ooh, yes. And Lupita, what is your hope for a more sustainable or equitable world?
What Julius was saying, like that we actually take it more seriously, because I feel like a lot of people, they deny the things that are happening in the planet, and they think, oh, I don't have to worry about it. But it's like, no, but your future generations do. Like Joy was saying, she wants children, grandchildren. Like, we need to leave a beautiful place behind for generations to come.
And I will just add on to that events like the Hollywood Climate Summit make me hopeful that we can reach that now in that future every day. So I just want to say thank you to the Hollywood Climate Summit. Thank you to the Academy. Shout out to Kevin Patel for helping to organize things, and also go follow up One Up Action for incredible Gen Z climate activism work that they are doing. We're a proud partner with them, as well as thank you so much to this incredible and beautiful panel. Please go follow them and their work, talk to them, connect with them. They're working on so many incredible projects they cannot talk about publicly yet. So please connect with them. And also go to asali.movie, that is ASALI.movie, and follow us at Asali Movie to keep up with the project that's coming out this year. And yeah, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maya, and the whole ASALI panel. Let's hear it one more time. They're going to take a quick photo. It's very exciting. Feel free to also take a photo. This is the start. This is the start of today. Today is such an incredible day, inspiring day, and tonight there's a party. So remember, we have to party, okay? Every action you're taking, be preparing for the party. Does that make sense? And we can only party if we get a break. So here's what's going to happen. It's a 15-minute break. We're back here. We're starting at 4:30 on the dot. There's food downstairs and drinks downstairs. We'll see you in 15 minutes, okay? We'll see you in 15 minutes. So happy you're here. Thank you for being here.